There we go, on hand.
Hello.
Hello there. And hello everybody else as well. So welcome guys, this is Shoot the Breeze, episode 55, a chill interview and chill time all around for you and me. I'm your host, HeavyDivider, and alongside me here is a very gentle soul. Very gentle soul on hand. As a matter of fact, they are very friendly to everybody else, as well as somebody you can just have a nice time talking to on hand here. My guest for tonight is... I will call you Mai for short because I'll be honest, I forgot to ask you how do you pronounce your name. I feel bad.
Okay. No. It was actually Maizalikha, but I'll be changing my name real soon. To be honest, yeah. I'll be rebranding myself I guess around August. So yeah.
I got you on hand. So we'll go and get right down to business here. Let me ask you this question: how are you doing today? How's it going, for the most part?
I am doing okay, fantastic. Ever since I got my new router today, so my internet has been very stable to me. And yeah, I also have a good food as well. So
Gotcha.
I'm doing fantastic. Yep. How are you, by the way?
Oh, I'm doing good. Pretty much before I even started streaming and everything, I woke up about an hour ago. As soon as I just got what I needed to send it out for Twitter and all that, I immediately went back to sleep. So that's the extent of my day on hand here. So for the most part, but yeah. So let's get started on hand. Let me ask you with this for the most part, and that will be. I will say on hand, I know for a fact we met for Stream Team on hand, and I also know for the fact that this is actually our first time interacting on hand, which is pretty much...
Yep.
No, it is no different than anything else on hand, because sometimes the people I interact with, this is the first time I'm talking to one another, so this is kind of like the extent of how we know each other for the most part, but we're going to get a chance to know each other over time or so, here and there, as time goes by. So.
Yep,
Definitely. So, let me ask you your question about your streaming origins. What got you started in streaming?
Okay, so long story short, I met some couple of friends who I know that he's started stream, and then another friend who also a streamer. So on that time, I can see on hand how they're streaming. So it kind of got me how they interact with, and I like how streamers interact with viewers, how they they feel so caring. As a viewer, I feel oh my god, that's so nice. The feeling was nice, so I want to kind of provide that to people. So I feel okay, you know what, I'm just gonna start stream. I never ever thought about debuting. I just stream with my a Vroid studio, the default model.
Yes.
That one. I used that first before I used my current one, which is iCommission. So I was okay, I just stream, and as much as I stream for a long time, I feel now it's I kind of have my own community that actually support me. So I feel I kind of take to streaming seriously now. I started to get I mean I don't want to let them down, if you know what I mean.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you on hand. As long as you're having fun with it, that's the important thing. Because I get the idea of taking it stream serious and everything, because with a goal and an idea in mind of what you want to do here and there, and I get the feeling. I get that feeling on hand, especially for what you gotta do later on down the line, depending on where you want to go as a streamer. It could be continue as a VTuber, continue as being whatever fits the thing that you approve of the most. So.
Yeah, I also just stream for having fun. Just have fun, literally, not thinking about how many subs I get or how many bits. It's just you just have fun, playing games and have fun.
No, I feel you, and that's understandable. It really is. That's the important thing, because otherwise, if you stream to not have fun, it's why are you streaming in the first place?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
definitely.
You need to like develop the feelings of like you enjoy things. If not, like what's the point?
Definitely. So let me ask about your hobbies on hand. Let me ask about your hobbies on hand besides streaming in general. Now, I will say this is just based on what I've noticed. I know for a fact that you play Genshin Impact. I know you play Final Fantasy 14. But I was gonna ask, besides those two on hand, what else do you do as a hobby or so?
As a hobby, or like
it could be game
on stream, or like, it could be game.
It could be gaming. It could be like something outside of gaming, just anything that piques your interest.
So like definitely, I love games, but just specific games. Like of course, like Genshin, FF14. I do also like recently I like action games, like RPG games. Like Assassin's Creed, Final Fantasy 15. So like racing car like games like Forza Horizon 4. Currently, I'm playing it right now. For like outside gaming, I do love playing ukulele and guitar. I guess music is my passion. I love music. So sometimes like I guess like not a lot of people know this, but when I was like 14 to 15 years old, I kind of like used like FL Studio. It's like software for music. It was called FL Studio.
Now I know it.
So basically like I had that, and I kind of like use my keyboard instead of I use my like literally like a PC keyboard instead of like a keyboard like piano, and I just like make a beat out of it. And on that time, it was just spark that I really love music. So I think that that's one of my hobbies. Like I love making music or analyzing music. It was literally like it was fun. So yeah,
I got you.
I like it.
Hey, like I said, music's not a bad one on hand. I mean, to put it this way, depending on exactly what kind of music you're interested in, so if you can like, the key thing about music is taking the melody, beat, rhythm, or the thing that you envision in your head and try to put it down on paper. That way you can try to mimic it. That's usually the hardest part, because sometimes I guarantee you can get an idea in your head. It's just a matter of like translating it over to something that could be made into reality. Unfortunately, usually it's hard. But
yeah, it's really hard.
But for the most part, for what you want to work with and everything on hand or so, as long as you make things as you go along, and plus as long as you let that creativity flow or so, it will never die. That's the thing too. Never die on hand.
Yeah, creativity is really hard to get as well, though. I mean, like the inspiration. If you want to make a music or something, you have to like you need to get inspiration, and that's one thing that sometimes it's so easy, but it's so hard to get. And yeah, for me, like I like especially I like heavy beats music. I'm open to any genre of music, but heavy beats really like gets me. Like EDMs and all the stuff. I know like people just like kind of like not really like looking EDMs, like they're looking like, oh, it's just like electronic things, it's just not like effort as like bands. But to be honest, they're also like really hard to make, appreciate music, I guess, is really like, I would say it's kind of a hard thing to do as well.
But yeah, it's one of those, take your time and basically take one step along as you keep going, and you'll get it. That's the thing. So question I got here for you is, what game was basically your intro into gaming in general? Like, what got you into like playing video games?
Oh, that took me a long time. Okay, I don't think it's just a game. I think it's a console. It started with PS2, PlayStation 2. So my mom bought a PlayStation 2 with like a bunch of games. So I think that literally sparks my inner video game. I guess not gamer girl, more like a person. I'm a kid who loves games, everything like that. So on a time, I remember I playing Persona 3, I guess. That's like very early, and I play Final Fantasy X too.
I got you.
And I remember I playing like racing game like Need for Speed, uh, I mean classic WWE on PS2. So I think that really like sparks my interest on gaming. I mean, it's funny because my mom bought the PlayStation 2 for my brother, but I'm the one who played like the most. And most of the night after like exams, I have free time before I started to school. So on the time I was 12, so I am becoming 13. So when the transition of 12 to 13, when I was on vacation, I lose all my sleep just to play games. So
yeah. That's the life there. No, that's the life
that's
there.
a life.
Yeah,
I live a life there. I had the most fun life on that time. I'm just playing games all the time. Sleep around 4 a.m. Just play games.
no, yeah, no, that's the life on hand there. Just because of the fact that when it comes down to it, on hand, like just to be able to like come home from school and just basically play whatever kind of games you want to on hand until it gets close to that time. But I guarantee you, depending on who you are, so you know, basically when your parents are asleep, you try to sneak downstairs just to do something, or basically be the kind of person where if you have a Game Boy Advance, like Game Boy SP, that once it's like really quiet, you just basically pull that out and just start playing like Pokemon or whatever kind of games you got going on, Golden Sun and such.
Oh my god. I remember that I kind of like sneak because my mom was like sleeping around like 11 to 12 p.m. 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. And I was like putting the TV because like the console was like on the living room. And so I literally put like the volume of the TV to like 1 or 2 just so my parents will not hear me playing the game on PS2 around like 3 or like 2 to 3 a.m. So oh no. I feel like a bad kid on the time, but yeah, I'm time fast. I still like games.
That's all good. I mean, hey, it's one of those things where it's one of those things where whatever you enjoy on hand or so, that passion is gonna grow strong, and when it grows strong on hand, you just have a good time just being able to just like further push that passion on what it is, or so like what you mentioned before about music. Same thing with that, just like as it grows, your knowledge of what you want to enjoy will grow too. And basically as like video game in general, as time goes by or so, there's gonna be some new stuff out there that you didn't think you experienced, and basically it comes here and there or so. Like, I don't know if you have a VR headset, but I can promise you on hand, like VR is kind of growing too, where it's just kind of like just to be able to experience like different kinds of things on hand is a little bit amazing too. It'll be the exact same thing with like console gaming or just like PC gaming in general. Like, it's going to be pushed. The only sad part is you got to have the specs for it, which is always a pretty penny on hand, which sucks, you know. But as long as it's
but
good. Oh, yeah. No, go.
Sorry.
No. You're good. Go ahead.
Because I also want to play VR because VRC is fun for me, and playing it on desktop is really like, I don't know, it's fun, but I want to like, I know with VR you can like you you can have bad things and also, but I know it's like it's just a virtual thing, but it feels close, so like when this pandemic also hits and it's hard for you to see your friends, all the affection from the VRC really makes me like, I don't know, I feel like I really like appreciate all my friends in VRC, especially. So, yeah, even though it's on desktop.
I got you. I was gonna say, I will say for your friends in VRC or so, is it mostly like a time zone thing, or is it just kind of like, I mean, because I know for a fact that in desktop it feels like you're experiencing the game 50% of it, because the rest of it is based on a VR headset because you got to have your hands for it. So.
Yeah. So for me, like, a lot of my friends are from America as well. So sometimes, because my sleep schedule is just I don't know what is my sleep schedule. I mean, it's 5 a.m. for me, right now.
What?
So sometimes I just like hang out. I'm just like if they're like online, I just like hang out there and then just like chill there, and it feels nice. It's just that when like they headband me, I just can't headband them because I don't have VR. I am planning to get VR, but in my country, like VR is really like not really like a thing. So it's pretty much really expensive for just like because there's only like couples of like company who sell VR like very expensive. Basically, they don't have like I don't know if it bought you, but I think you have a full set VR, right? Like full body.
I only have no. I don't have full body. It's I could get full body, but at the same time, I don't see the point of it just because of the fact that I just need the headset and that's it. Also, I will say, Nerd Sergeant, yep, that is beautiful, Mai.
Hello.
Yep, beautiful Mai on you. But to answer your question, I only have the headset, and the reason being is because that's the only thing you need on it, is just the hands. Like, full body is for those who basically want to feel a little bit more out there as, like, you realistically walking around in VRC, or just being able to kind of like, sometimes people get full body for RP purposes, too. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
But for me, I'm content with what I got here, for the most part.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
just for like the interaction, like a bare minimum interaction, something like that.
Also, I just realized too, which I will say, I didn't know it was 5 a.m. your time. I actually thought it was going to be like 8 a.m. or so when we were talking about this or so.
To be honest, if 8 a.m. I'll be sleeping. To be honest, that was like my sleeping time, so that's why I was like, I wish you can do it like a bit early because on this I'm still like awake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I wish time zones were never a thing, because that way, whatever you schedule on hand could be just beneficial for everybody around the world. So, unfortunately, unfortunately, wishes can only be fishes at this point with that. But
yeah.
Let me talk about the VTuber scene on hand now. What got you into VTubing, if I can ask?
VTubing, oh my god. I think the one that sparks me to become like, I feel like VTuber is fun is Hololive Kagura. I think that's the first time I heard about VTuber. So on that time I was like, oh, I mean, she's cute. She's like a cartoon anime that become a streamer. And then I saw a lot of people who became a VTuber, and I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of, it's like a VTuber, like it's getting like it's like uprising, as they say, VTuber uprising.
Yeah, VTuber uprising.
Yeah, so I saw like a lot of people are starting. It was on. I started stream when it was like October, the end of October. On that time, to be compared like now it's like a lot of people, like everywhere is VTuber. It's like a lot of people are like VTuber. So on that time, it's like there's a lot of people, but it's like it's still like rising. If you know what I mean? It's still like on the rise of VTuber. So on that time, I would just like grab a chance, like, okay, you know what? I feel like it's not a bad thing. And plus, in real life, I wear a hijab. So I think like if I like doing a cam stream, I have to wear hijab all the time, and then my room is like hot as well. So for a VTuber as well, it's like it's like a benefit for me. Like, you can be a cute ass character, and at the same time you just stream comfortably, with comfort. So yeah.
No, I got you. And it's the comfortability on hand too, because of the fact that, let's be fair, and I'm pretty sure everybody in chat can agree with this, nobody in the world, even as a streamer, sometimes doesn't want to have their webcam on for their real faces on hand. It's mostly kind of a nerve-wracking thing too, depending on where you are and what kind of job you have. But I will say, when it comes to like when it comes to a character that you have on hand, you're able to mold it into the way you want to be on hand. Your personality will mold it, where basically when you see that face, when you see that face on hand, you'll recognize it as your own voice or so. Even if I'm pretty sure at certain times people think, somebody's voice does not match a character or so, but that I digress. It's just basically based on what relates to you on hand. I will say on hand, now that I think about it, I've never actually watched too much Hololive on hand, which I know it was one of the uprisings for VTubing in general or so. Same with like V Shoujo and everything. But I will say on hand, do you keep up with anybody in VTubing for the most part, like in that kind of side or so, or is it just kind of like one of those things where you focus on what you need to do as a VTuber, just kind of like find what is you mostly?
I don't really like focus much on other VTubers. Like especially like I just like know there exists at first, and then I started. To be honest, I don't really remember that I actually like followed them and then watched them all the time. Until like I started VTubing, then it's not only like I do that like randomly. I most of the time like watch some of like friends or like the ones that I met to it. So yeah, I feel like I most of the time I just like focusing on myself. But at the same time, I also like learn something from my friends when they're streaming. I learn it from friends instead of I will learn it from like company VTubers like Hololive, Shoujo, Niji, Sanji, all this stuff. Because what I realized is company VTuber and independent VTuber are two different things. So I feel like the company one has their own challenges, independent one has their own challenges. So what I feel like independent, especially like like us, I feel like the challenge is to not create, more like to attract people with our own personality and our own, if it's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work. It's a grind.
No, yeah. No, I feel you. Trust me, it's a craft in of its own. Just because of how much time you put into it and basically on what direction you have on it. Because I will say, as a I will say for the most part, VTubing wise or so, as I kind of look at it on hand a little bit further and furthermore, I realize it's a craft on its own just because of what kind of characters you want to work with here and there. And just being able to kind of like, make it more interactable with it. Like, even if it's like with your character or so on hand, or basically something outside of that you think you want to work with or so. It's just a craft within and of itself. Let me ask you this. I mentioned on hand about streaming origins, but let's talk about like streaming for the most part in the sense of as a streamer on hand or so. What do you usually just play anything on hand, or do you have like a specific kind of games that you usually play with, or is it kind of like it could be community based on hand for what anybody in your community suggests on hand?
Depends. Okay, so for me, like at first, I only play FF14 literally, but I don't know. Ever since like, I guess like starting like 2-3 weeks of me streaming, I started to realize like, oh my god, I feel like because like I got like quite a lot of support for the first 2 months of my stream, so I feel like I need to, kind of like have fun with like other not viewers in it. So I was like, I started to play like multiplayer games, play with like Phasmophobia. Oh my god, yeah, I started with Phasmophobia as well, and I started to play in public, and then I started to play on stream. And then I feel like, okay, it was like it was fun. And then after that, I started to play, if you know, the rhythm game called Oz or Oz.
Oh, OSU.
Yeah, so Osu, Oz. I call it Oz.
Okay, like, I got you.
Yeah. So
I always thought it was abbreviation to something, but I digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Oz, I play Oz with some of like people that I know from community. And then I'm not really good at the game. I just like playing for fun. So and then I started to play what else? I just like play look at the mood, as I would say. I don't play like just like one game and then just like then I just change or something like that. I just like look at the mood if I have like want to play, because I feel like on like my channel I can just express everything and just be myself. If I don't want to play that game, it's all right. Because in the end of the day, it's my stream. So yeah. And then I started to play Genshin. Genshin really took me to gacha hell. Oh my god. Yeah. It was fun.
I will say I haven't really played Genshin for the most part. I've seen quite interesting memes from it on hand, but it looks interesting. I mean, all I gotta say is something about it makes me think Zelda-like, just because of the climbing feature, and that's pretty much how I see it.
A climbing feature. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Join us. One of us, Heavy.
Oh boy.
One of us.
As you can see on hand here, I'm slowly starting to be pulled into a cult of Genshin Impact as it is. Basically, climb with us. Climb with us.
Climb with us. Climbing simulator. Let's go.
Climbing simulator. Let's go. Let's go on here.
Swimming simulator as well. Don't drown.
So, I will ask this. Let's talk about memorable moments or anything funny that comes to mind here. Now, be it in streaming, VTubing in general, when I say like a funny or memorable moment, it could be like something that would take place when you least expect it. It could be something that kind of like, when you think about like the cornerstones, or basically when you think of like how you're, like when you think about it in general or so, it would be like, what is it that kind of stands out to you, streaming wise or VTubing wise, that when it comes to it, they all come to your mind, instantaneously.
Damn. Funny or memorable? Okay, so both that I find it like a different thing. So funny is different, memorable is different, because for me the memorable is I found the love of my life, basically. I found my boyfriend through Twitch. So he also a VTuber as well. So basically like he's my first mod, and then yeah, it was so memorable because like I don't even like realize that we're like I'm gonna like it's something that Twitch changed my life. Like I don't know if it relatable to you, but Twitch really changed my life. It changed my what's it called, my mindset. It changed on how I see things with people. And then as well, and I never thought that I'll find a partner. So that's memorable things for me. So funny thing is, oh my god, there's a lot that I don't know how to choose. But recently that I got funny thing when I was playing games, and like alert thing when they can choose like the screen things.
Oh, the sound alerts.
Like the sound alerts by use bits.
Yep.
Just now I got a screaming. Oh my god. It was scary at first, but when I watched the VOD, it was funny. So basically, it's more of like the community itself that makes it like the interaction. They make a meme out of it. I also if people are spoiling me, I be Among Us my. I don't know if I can show you about Among Us, but it's
sure.
okay.
No, you can. No, you can. I mean,
okay.
So, I can pull it up on screen.
So I become like this.
Oh, become like that. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I see it. As you can see here, you're pointing right at your community with that 9mm.
So if you wanna chat with me with your money and all that stuff, I will chat in youth gun. So
yeah, there you go. I mean,
so yeah, I'm not.
Well, it's all good.
But yeah, that's just me. I mean, like I find it funny because like it just like shows that I really like. They're like making fun of me, so I try to like make fun with myself. So
I got you, and I will say that's the thing. Keep in mind, no matter what community you have on hand, for the most part, the thing that I want to say is that everybody's got a different community on hand. No matter what, everybody has a different community, and not only do they have a different community on hand, it's also the fact too that with these communities or so, you're gonna have like special moments when it comes down to it on hand. I just saw that. I see that. Trying to say lock and load it and just have it underneath the table just in case. You never know. But when it comes to communities in general on hand, I will say everybody's got their own meme. Everybody's got their own memes, inside jokes, or basically you got those friends that basically stick with you on hand no matter what. When it comes down to it, and it's one of those things too. Now, when you mentioned about like, you know, is it relatable with me, like with streaming change in your life and everything, or just like such like that? I can assure you on hand that when it comes down to it, for me personally, streaming has changed my life, but it's also in part to VR chat as well, because for the long way I got a chance to meet a lot of group of friends, a lot of good people, and I'm pretty sure you did too. A lot of good people that basically they will stick with you to the ends of the earth, and basically you want to try to get back to them as much as you can. Be it like, you know, you bring them with you no matter how far you want to go up that mountain to basically immortalize them in certain aspects of what you do, like be it like memes or just like emotes or ways to be sound alerts too. You know, you can actually do that as well. So sound alerts on hand here, but it's the thing too. When it comes to it, it does change your life, and at the same time, it helps out no matter what here and there. Let me ask you this question, by the way. So what is your motivation that keeps you going when it comes to this whole thing that we talked about, from like streaming, from like VTubing, for, you know, hobbies in general, including music? What keeps you going?
So, what keeps me going? So, I guess it's a motivation from the community itself. Where they're like asking me, like, you know, they're like very, very caring of me, which is I am grateful for. So when things like that happen for me, I feel like, you know, I want to give, like, I don't want to just let them, like, you know, let them say like, oh, okay, I care about you, and then I say I care about you and all stuff, and then I just like gone. I don't want that. I want to give like all the, basically, because they know me because I'm streaming, so I feel like I want to give that support, like, to them as well. I want to basically like entertain them, basically, because they've been a lot of like times where they help me throughout my, you know, my hard time, and then they support me with, you know, with words, with, you know, support with gifts, and with, you know, money or not, as long as they saw me and then they like care about me, it's just more than enough. So that one of the I guess one of the motivation, but also my other motivation is I just love how I just love Twitch. I guess, yeah, I just love Twitch because, like, as you say about it, you know, changing your life, it also changed my life as well. So I feel like, you know, I still have fun. So why do I stop? You know, why do I stop? So I also I don't know. I feel like it's just the fun that I had also drives me, like keeps like driving me, like, the, you know, the streaming. So I feel fantastic when I stream as well. So of course there's also a lot of challenges, but, you know, with a lot of support, you can do it. So
yeah, and that's the thing, which I will to part some wisdom from what I can tell you on it, is basically those who stick with you are the ones who basically want to see you at your happiness on hand. And those are the kind of people that you can never ever replace with any streamer, any big streamer, or like anybody else's community. The community you have is specifically your own, and they will go with you wherever you want to go, because they are basically your personal, they're like your personal friends. So
yep, definitely, yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah, they want to see where you go on hand. So let me ask you about the some little bit different topics on hand here. Let me ask about the VTuber current present. Now, in this particular time on hand of where we are right now, in the sense of like VTubing in general, what is your current thoughts of it at so far where we are right now?
We are for VTuber in general?
Yeah, for VTuber in general, like where we are in the sense of what we have going at this moment. For
this
like
moment.
yeah, for this moment or so, like the current like climax or basically like of where we are now.
Like it's like a mountain.
Yeah.
So I feel like we are. I think we are at the top of the mountain right now. I think we are in the top of the mountain because like, I feel like everywhere on my Twitter, especially, like there's a lot of like people who are started debuting or started to reveal themselves as a VTuber. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere, and I feel like, and because of, and they still have got views and got support. So I think that's a crucial part. So okay. One thing that I'm kind of scared is how I'm scared of VTubers like thing is gonna go down, started to go down, where no one's gonna watch VTuber. But to be honest, I think that it can be quite wrong as well. It can be quite not true because like anime.
Yes.
Like because literally like VTubing is like anime. You can be anime girls, anime boys. You can be an animal as well. So I feel like because there's a lot of diversity as well from there. So I don't think that it's gonna go down very soon, like very very soon. It could be like probably around 5 to 6 years or even 10 years. I don't know. It's like anime. Anime never dies. So I think that VTuber can be also never dies. So right now, I think that we are doing fine. I mean, of course, also like a VTuber who like goes like what's called graduate or
yeah, it's called graduate.
Yeah.
I was confused about that until somebody explained to me, but basically, yeah, it's called graduation, which is a term for I guess in a way basically going from virtual reality right going into reality in general, kind of graduation.
Definitely, yeah, something like that. Or probably retire as well. We can use retire.
Yeah, we can use retire. It's not a keyword for it, but originally keyword. So, but all I could say for the most part too is, like, keep in mind too, like, no matter where we go or so, it's the personality that carries on with it or so. Like, even if you quit like VTubing and basically decide to be yourself, it's the personality that'll carry it on or so. No matter what, and that's what people are there for in a stream on him. Basically, the personality in general. So.
Definitely, yeah.
So
I do agree with that. Personality is like literally like number one of all. Besides, I mean, design is number one, but personality that's kind of like stays forever.
But yeah, that's definitely how it is. I will say, anything you're looking forward towards in the future right now, of what you got planned?
I have a lot of things to plan. Because it's been I've been streaming for 9 months, and right now I feel like I'm still like feels like I'm in the same as I used to for the past 3 months. So I need to do like some sort of like I need to push forward. So I plan a lot. I guess like changing my name is my first move. Second thing is kind of like I'm still gonna use my same model, but I'm gonna rebrand like the layouts, like a stream starting soon. Like the beginning, the intro.
Yep.
I need to do that, and then I also plan to do a song cover, but let's see first, because it's kind of like it's gonna cost quite a lot too for me because of the currency. So let's see first, but I do plan on that. I'm working on that, and and probably like collabs with a lot of people as well. I really want to like do collabs. So yeah.
No, I got you. I was gonna say, you do definitely have a lot on your plate for what you want to do here and there, and I will say, for whatever direction you want to go on hand, just take it one step at a time and do it at your pace. And trust me, when you do it at your pace on hand, you'll be able to get through these little by little. Plus, you'll kind of perfect it for each one you want to work with. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
That's the key thing in general.
I do. I do feel that.
And And it'll get there when it could get there. I could promise you. You just got to be patient with it. Which I will tell you on hand, patience is an obstacle course, but once you get through it on hand, it feels worth it in the end. So.
That's also like, yeah, I need to remind that like to myself like every day.
I mean,
like it will be worth it. You like most of the time I tend to like give up a lot of times, but you know, like once you like keep like pushing it and it's until to the end, it's gonna be worth it. Like,
yeah,
super worth it.
Yeah, I live by these words on it being: be determined, be persistent, be patient. And when you have, when you constantly remind yourself, then basically it keeps you motivated to kind of keep rolling with it. No matter the good times or bad times, just keep rolling with it. So. And so let me ask you. Okay, so this is curveball question time here because everybody's got a different answer for this on hand, but it also depends on exactly if everybody's got free time for it. So let's talk about anime.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk. So I have there's a 3-part question to this. So first question for this is: when I say the word anime, what's the first series that comes to your mind?
Oh, you know Parasite.
Oh
my god, Parasite. It's like
Parasite. Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, the one with the hand. Yeah, that one. That is my first. I guess my first series anime that I watched. I mean, my childhood is full of Naruto and like Doraemon. It's like a very like generic. I don't want to say Naruto is generic, but it was kind of generic for like it's like general anime on TV for my childhood. So I don't really like. I already watched like Naruto in not like every week, like because like on TV they show it every week. So I watch it when I have time. So I don't know what's happening in Naruto. But for me, like the most like the serious one that I watch like every week is Parasite. And honestly, it really like it was as my friend said from like who loves anime, they said that Parasite is really good anime to start with because you know anime is not only like for rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah, it's not sunshine and rainbows at all.
No, I mean look at Attack on Titan. So I mean it's funny because Attack on Titan is my second anime that I watched. So it's all weird things that I watch for anime. It's not really a very chill anime.
Well,
but yeah, that's like my first anime.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say since you were kind of listing a little bit of animes there, my second question on hand is if you had a top 3 or top 5 like list of like anime series that kind of like goes for you on hand, what would that be?
Oh my god, that is a hard question. Oh my god.
I mean, put it this way: even if you need to, we can remove the cap off it. It would be kind of like, what's your favorite anime, series that you watch?
Okay. It's funny because I actually on that time I only watched 2 anime basically. So basically, it was Parasite and Attack on Titan first season, and that's all. And I don't watch anime until early this year. So I started to watch not I guess quite not a lot, but more of like some part of like I need to see my anime list again. So because I kind of like forget how many
you did
watch it.
That's all good.
So basically like I mean I watched quite a bit. I guess I would say top 3 to 5. I guess first one is always Parasite because it's like my first anime. I kind of be biased here because like it was like one of like an eye-opening experience that I can't like get it from other anime at all, I mean I know there's like a very amazing anime that can top Parasite, but for me because it was my first hand experience, so that's why I feel like Parasite is amazing. So second one is probably Jujutsu Kaisen. Second one.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, the oh my god! But it was only the first season. This was funny because I'm not a manga reader. I'm an anime watcher. So
that's fair.
I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen reminds me of Parasite. That's the thing. I had the thing with Parasite because it was like I kind of be biased here because like it kind of like really like it's just amazing. So I guess the third one. Oh my god, this is hard. So I guess it was Finland Saga. I think that's my third one. What because what I like about Vinland Saga is the animation, the story, and I guess the just historical part that actually got me. I really love about I actually like history. I don't really hate it, but like history, like you know that they can portray it really well, is like it kind of like got me. So yeah, Vinland Saga is my number 3.
Okay.
I guess like because like I'm still like watching like I still currently watching a lot of anime. Like I kind of like started One Piece, Naruto. I watched JoJo until part 4. I'm currently watching part 5. I guess JoJo is my number 4. I mean
JoJo is a classic. I mean who doesn't like crazy shenanigans and basically Joseph screaming holy shit all the time?
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Oh my god, yeah. And oh my god, Joseph. Okay, I would argue with this. Joseph is the best JoJo. I don't know. People always think like Jotaro or Josuke.
I mean, he's got a good personality, so it stands out. That's the thing.
I love Joseph, man. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It carries. Okay, it carries on.
I guess I'm number 4. Oh my god. Joseph Joestar is. It's I like it because it's like he got a lot of personality. Like he's the first one who started like a lot of like characteristic, you know, like I guess so, yeah, something like that. Oh my god, I don't know, it was so funny.
There, everyone says Joseph. I mean, put it this way, he's the only Joestar that basically went from episode 2. Well, but put it this way, he's the only ones that basically last the longest in the Joestar family. That's why.
Yeah, he started longest, and of course I like the younger one, but the older one is like much more funnier instead of like humor, because it's like I mean he got like, you know, kids, and he got like, you know, he got kids, so
yeah.
not giving a lot of spoilers, but yeah, and I guess because of like the story itself is like, I don't know, because you've been with Joseph for longest time, so it feels like you've been like connected with like the story. You emotionally be connected with him like the longest, I guess. So yeah, that's why it's like I feel like Joseph is like the best Joestar. Yeah.
I got you. Ryan. So my third question to this subject of anime is, with everything that we talked about anime wise and everything in general, I was gonna ask you, what is the anime that hits you close to home? Like when you resonate with it, you feel it on an emotional level.
Oh man, I don't know that one. Oh my god, wait. Can you repeat that question again? I need to process that.
No, okay. The question I was asking is, what is the anime that hits you close to home? In the sense of like you resonate with it on like an emotional or just on a very relatable level to it.
Oh wait, oh god. Okay, wait. I need to think. I think I got that, but oh my god, wait. Oh my god, wait. I think I got one. I think
it's a hard question just because it's like you gotta look back and be like, okay, what can I relate to?
I think it's not really just an is a movie is part of anime though, or
I mean, it could be an anime movie.
Anime movie.
It could be an anime movie if you want to, because I know there's a few people on hand that when I mentioned that question, it could be an anime movie.
I think it's that's one anime that Spirit Away.
Spirit Away, that's a classic.
Spirit Away.
That is a classic.
God. Oh, I guess in terms of that, Spirit Away is my first anime, but it's a movie, so I don't think that. I mean, it's kind of anime, but it's also like I watched it like many times. It does not like bore. It doesn't get boring.
No, it doesn't.
It just it doesn't get boring. That's what I like about it, and I think it's because of, I guess, like in that story, because it's an old movie, so I think I can take it. So I feel like like this girl just felt like lonely on the new place, on the like outside of like out part of the world. So I feel like I kind of like feel that, because I kind of like on my for my childhood I kind of moves a lot. I move a lot, so to like basically like to go to a new place and then just like adjust a lot of stuff, it can be quite stressful for a kid.
Yeah.
And I feel like that movie like really like hits me like a lot, because like to see like the kid itself, her name was Chihiro. Chihiro really like tried her best to be likable by a lot of people, despite she's the only human there. So it feels like, as for me, even though my place is not like it's all human, but the mindset is like who is that girl? I remember that when I was a kid, they're like it's like I'm the only one who's like I guess like foreign for them. So even though it's my own country, but it's because of like the way I dress on that time is different than all of them. So they look at me, and then it feels like I have no friends on that time. I literally have no one. So I have to do everything that I can to make them like me, But
Yeah.
it was like a child. It was like a kid mindset on that time. So yeah, that's why it stressed me out. But yeah, Spirit Away really like hit me. It feels like home. That's why I don't mind if 100 times, million times of watching Spirit Away, I'm not gonna get bored at all. So yeah.
No, I got you. Again, it's a classic movie. It's a classic Studio Ghibli movie, and it's one of those things where, like, even if you've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie on hand, you can always recommend anybody to go see Spirit Away. Like, it's a classic movie of its own. So,
Yeah.
my last question I have on hand for you is, and I'm gonna give you center stage for this on hand, for basically,
okay.
yeah, center stage right here, so that way you can have this on hand. And basically, the question I have for you is, what are your goals and dreams? And at best, what is the best advice you could ever give to anybody? I'm gonna let you have center stage for this, and I'm basically just gonna hide myself away. So, go right ahead.
My God. Oh my God, I am not ready for this. But
Take your time.
here we
You're all
go.
good.
Oh my God, I saw you. Okay. So I guess oh my God, my goals. I have a lot, but I guess like my main goal is take care of myself. In terms of mental health, and I guess yeah, just keep being happy. That's one thing that I'm until now still trying to do it. Goals as well. I think it's just a dream, but I don't know if it's gonna be like basically become reality, which is I kind of want to be a Twitch partner, but I mean that's my dream. That's my goal, my dream. I guess it kind of basically counts. So I guess I also want to give back to the community as well, because without them, who am I? And I also want to make a lot of friends as well, because I feel like getting like know to a lot of people also like quite fine. I mean, especially I know Heavy from Stream Team, and I feel grateful that I met you, Heavy. So I guess advice. Oh my God, advice. Man, I don't know. I'm not really good at giving advice, but I would say just have fun when you when you want to start streaming. I guess having fun is the first thing you need to do. Like if you don't feel have like fun, you feel like stressed out and all stuff. Don't don't start streaming. Probably like give your time to rest. That's the one thing that I learned a lot. Give your time a rest. Um, and focus on yourself as well. Don't focus on so much on other people as well. Focus on yourself, your own happiness, and yeah. I guess that's all.
That's
I mean,
and for the
I'm not
record,
really good at.
and for the record,
Yeah.
the reason I kind of like hide over here is because that way I give people center stage, and plus this TV's big enough for me to hide, so that's why. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I sit over here, because that way I can easily hide. And that's why I have a table too. So there's that too. But yeah, I will say before we go and before we head off here, for those who came in on hand here as my next turn Twitch here, weirdly, I will say for those that came in from my community on hand in chat or so, do you guys have any questions you want to ask her on hand that you always wanted to ask her for the most part? I will say, while they basically share their questions on hand, I will ask you this: your name, the name you have right now, where did it first originate from, if I may ask?
Oh, like the current name?
Yeah, the current name you have right now before you rebrand.
The current name is actually part of my real name. Okay, both of them are basically part of my real name. So I guess I don't want to. Of course, I don't want to reveal my name.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, it was but it was part of my name. So
okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm gonna change it. I mean, I already revealed the name as well. So.
And I'm not gonna ask about the rebranding or anything because I'm pretty sure that's very, very top secret. So I'm not gonna dive right into that. But I will say yes. Pretty much for those in chat or so, especially from my community, if you guys have any questions you want to ask her right away, please feel free. On hand. I will say too, on hand for the most part, which thing off the top of my head here. Now, again, we talked about time zones on hand, and for the most part, I will say I know for a fact it's really hard on hand, especially when you got to meet some of your friends who do live in America on VRC or so. But I will say on hand, for those you meet on hand or so, what is the kind of like social aspect or feeling like? Just trying to meet people you've never actually met before on hand for you, especially in a different part of the country.
I mean, like social, like basically, like what do I feel on VRC or something like that?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I guess because like it depends on what room are you on VRC as well. That's one thing that I learned a lot. If you go to public, you'll never get affection unless you get it.
Yeah, once you open yourself up.
Yeah, as for me, that I know from this one streamer named Ogirls. So she's the one who like kind of like brings me back. Like she kind of like drags me back to VRC because I used to play VRC, but I just play in public and I don't have fun. I got harassed before, so. Yeah. Right now I also kind of like right now I was like I think I feel like when I was in like her community, I feel comfy. I just feel like I feel welcome. I feel like I guess there are like very, very welcoming, you know, even though I never met them, but they are very like it feels like home, you know what I mean? It feels like they are not, you know, I don't feel like a stranger there. That's what I like about it. I don't feel like a stranger, so it feels like, hi, how are you? And then they had at me, and then it's like, man, it was a nice feeling.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, I feel you on hand. I feel you on hand for the most part.
We should play VRC together though.
I mean, I would be down for that. I mean, in the sense of it.
Let's go.
Let's
go. Even though I don't have VR, but yeah.
No, I was just double check. Yeah, I was just double checking something here. Alright.
Mhm.
But I guess I don't see any questions on hand here that I don't think anybody's going to be asking on hand, but
Okay.
I will say for the most part on hand here, and I will say this first and foremost, I hope you had a good time with the interview on hand here and just be able to have a fun time. I know it's your first time on hand, but I will say it is nice to be able to get the chance to know you on hand here for the most part. But I will say,
it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, nice talking to you on hand, and that will be episode 55 of Shoot the Breeze.